this may be stuff that you already know, but I also know that we have lots of new people on our team, which is exciting. And I was going over some pointers with my friend a few days ago, and I thought, it's probably a really good idea to go over some of the basics of what I'm going to call tricking the social media algorithm. If you've been on Facebook for a long time, you know that used to, I'm going to say, 2012, you could post something and it seemed like everyone that was your friend saw it, and that you saw everything that all of your friends posted, right? And I used to think, I guess I'm getting so many friends that I don't see everybody's stuff anymore, but I didn't realize it's because Facebook, and I'm sure all social media platforms are similar in these ways, have a way of determining, they call it an algorithm. They determine who they should show your stuff to and whose stuff to show to you. I call it sort of like, if you can trick Facebook into thinking you're good friends with someone, it's going to show them your stuff. So when I was first starting out on Plexus and using social media to do my business, I would get online and I would look and see who else was online before I would post anything. I know this is going to sound bizarre, but I was like, oh, it used to be a little bit different, and you could see whose light was on, so to speak, like who's online right now. And I would think, what do I know about this person? What would ring their bells? Like what would make them go, if they read what I posted? And I would put together a post based on maybe one or two of those people that I could see, right? Well, it doesn't quite work that same way. However, you can still trick it. And the trick is, depending on how much time you have, I was sharing with my friend. I said, I know this sounds like, busy work. In the middle, like, for example, if you work a full-time job and you're like, on my break, I just want to take a blasted break, right? I don't want to sit there and think about, I get that. There's a Jim Rohn, who's an old school network marketer. There's a Jim Rohn video where he talks about working part-time. I've said this even recently, working part-time at his job and working full-time on his job and working part-time on his fortune. That's not exactly the way he says it, but basically the concept of putting it into those nooks and crannies in your life so that you don't have to continue. I did a very passionate Zoom call this morning. I didn't realize how passionate it was going to be until I started talking for someone else's team. And I dug deep into that topic, like the brainwash of thinking that we owe 40 hours a week to someone else, and how it seems to be difficult for society as a whole to understand, look, I'm coming out from underneath that brainwash. So when you start blooming, you may find resistance in every direction you look. Somebody's resisting the fact that you're blooming and the fact that you're wanting to, bust out of the mold of the 40-hour week. And I promise I'll get to the Facebook stuff, but I have to just say that early on in my career with Plexus, it was like a gift that I happened to be listening to a talk radio station that was talking about the idea of bettering yourself. And they were saying, when you start to better yourself and bust out of the mold, people who love you and have been part of your life your whole life tend to be the most resistant to you. Yep, all the nods. To you changing. And then I remembered being like, yes, why is that happening? I hope they're going to tell me, why is that happening? Why are the people that I counted on to jump in this with me the ones going, oh, I think they're doing everything aside from like literally sideswiping me to get me off track. They're like, not only am I not going to join you, I'm probably going to do everything I can to keep you from going any further. I'm going to say little ridiculing, snide things. I'm going to pretend like I think that you got tricked, like you must have got hoodwinked in some way, right? All of those things. But the way this talk radio described it is they said, it's not that they wish bad things on you. It's just that there's something inside of them that's telling them, what's so wrong with living the life I live? Like, why she thinks she got to get better than what I am? Like, whatever, let's say whatever the version of, say, how you grew up, how all your friends' lives are, the way everybody gets a 30-year mortgage and everybody has insurance and everybody has monthly bills that are just so strapping. And then I also heard a thing today where we have a local tire plant where my husband used to work. And the rumor I heard today was that out at the tire plant, they know that they've turned you into a lifer when you buy a new truck. You go buy a new truck and they got you for life, because you're not gonna leave that tire plant money, that dependable, sure thing income that's wearing your body out. You ain't gonna leave that, right? Because you went and started the debt cycle. Up until then, they don't know that they have you for life. Well, that lifestyle is a certain lifestyle. I'm not saying it's good or bad. It's just a different lifestyle. Certainly different than what I want to live the rest of my life. But that's the road that my family was headed down. And it was very similar to the majority of my family. 30-year mortgages, 5 years worth of major car payments, wear that car out, need another one. Oh, I guess since we're settled into this, buy a boat, all the things. Understanding that they don't mean you any harm when they decide to come out and say tacky things about what you're doing. They don't really mean to harm you. They just are a little insulted by the fact that you want to better yourself, because they're like, there's nothing wrong with being the way we are. The way we are is normal, and that's fine. And I might even be insulting somebody who's on the call tonight. You may be like, what's wrong? Like, that's the way we live. But it's just not the way I wanted to live. You understand what I'm saying? Like, I just didn't want to do all that. And so every single way that I started to stretch, it's like they've got you in an egg and don't want you to hatch, or they've got you in a cocoon and they don't want you to bloom out of the cocoon. Every area I started to stretch and try to hatch, it's like, oh, no, just stay. Because they don't want to examine their own brainwash for sure. They're like, everything you say on Facebook, they're not saying this to you, but they're like, everything you're saying is making me examine how bad I've been brainwashed, and I don't like it. Okay, so anyway, so all of that being said, feels like there was one other aspect of that I talked about today. I will tell you, after that Zoom call, I had lots of private messages, people saying, thank you so much. That was very helpful. You're right about that. So I already knew that was pretty much kind of seems to be a broad spectrum thing. Everybody tends to encounter that resistance in the beginning. Another pointer about all that is, once you've made your mind up that this is what you're going to do, there is some beauty in jumping all the way in, because if you imagine it like a swimming pool and you just put your toe in the water and you're like, I hadn't really made my mind up, but I'm just putting my toe in the water. There is something about bullies who want to come and push you in and say, I hope you like all that. They want to come and say something tacky to you and see. It's almost like testing your resolve for being halfway in and halfway out. But once you are completely in, if you just jump in and say, this is what I am now, they are a lot less likely to try to bully you. I am a Plexus ambassador as much as the hair growing out of my head is red. Like, it's as much part of me as anything else. And so for them to mock it about me at this point, I don't have anybody mock me. In fact, as soon as I was all the way in, people quit trying to say anything about my different path in life. I think they sort of realized, I guess that's just what she is. Like, we're not going to be able to bully her out of it. So now, here we go. I'm going to tell you about tricking the Facebook algorithm. If you'll spend in the nooks and crannies in your life 5 to 10 minutes, it really helps if it's about 10 minutes, commenting on other people's posts. And if you really pick specific people, particularly people that you might be interested in talking to about the business, but you want to warm things up first, you want them to see the posts that you're making. If you will comment on their posts, so literally, you don't want to go way back. Don't go way back in their pictures and find something to comment. Look on their wall, see the most recent thing they've posted, and maybe say something like, "Oh, I love that picture of your baby. She's so sweet," whatever. Do that for 5 to 10 minutes, then make your post. And then, this is kicker, interact after you've posted for 5 to 10 more minutes. Because as the comments are filing in, you have the opportunity to show some personality, love on people when they comment on your stuff. You'll notice after you've done this for a while, it will start a pattern to where the people that you commented on right before will likely be the ones that comment on your post, because you've tricked Facebook's algorithm into thinking those are the people that you have been interacting with, because you're not really. You're sort of tricking it, but you're not really. You're warming it up. You're warming up the atmosphere. One other little tip is, this is something I've gotten really good at, by the way. It took me a while to decide I wanted to do this because I kind of have a little bit of a social media overwhelm if I'm not careful. So I have started participating in groups that have nothing to do with Plexus. I've always been part of groups, but I usually just kind of like scroll around and read other people's stuff. But I started participating, and I also started deeply participating on Twitter, which I have not done up until recently. I'm not suggesting that Twitter is a place or not, one way or the other, to work your Plexus business. I'm just saying I've created a followership on Twitter too by interacting with people, and it's stuff that I'm passionate about, even though some of it is controversial. Like, a lot of people would be like, that's controversial, that's divisive. I've never had a more steady followership than I have right now, of all things. So weird. I guess it sort of is putting a dividing line. I don't mean to be putting a dividing line, but it's putting a dividing line between me and people who really disagree with me on things. I'm okay with that. So if you're keeping a list of prospects in the notes portion of your phone, or if you're good about carrying a notebook around and you want to have it on paper, use that list to interact before you post something, then post something, and then reply to them as they comment underneath your post. When you're participating in groups, it starts showing people in that groups. Start showing people in that group your posts too, because it's common interest. Again, Facebook thinks you're friends with these people. So as you're interacting and chatting with these people, that's really actually, I'm saying tricking, but it's really bumping the algorithm in your favor. See what I'm saying? I want to tell you about a couple of apps. My personal favorite app, I'm going to tell you about it and then let you determine whether this will work for you or not, because I tried to help my good friend this week get WordSwag on her phone. And I don't know if it was causing problems on her phone because she needs to upgrade her phone, Or if right now word swag is just when new people get it, if it keeps trying to get you to upgrade to, you know how you can get a free app and then it keeps trying to tell you to upgrade, it literally wouldn't let her make graphics for constant pop-up trying to get her to upgrade. So that would be the number one app I would tell you about. I don't know if it would do that to everybody or if it's just doing that to her because of a different style of phone than mine. Word swag is super easy to use to make graphics, and I'm going to show you. I'll show you sort of what I mean. You open it up. The top looks like this. It has pictures at the top. At the bottom is where your menu is. So you can take a picture. You can choose from pictures you've already taken, or you can choose with this magnifying glass. You can choose from pictures that are stock photos and there are tons of them. So if you wanted to make an inspirational quote, or if you wanted to advertise a special, or if you even wanted to make a graphic for a team member who had accomplished something, you could use a picture of them and lay words on top of it. I made one a few days ago to welcome somebody into the team page. It was a really cute rain boots sitting at the front door, had a welcome mat and said welcome, and I added her name underneath where it said welcome. So it's simple. That took me about a minute to do, and all I did was add her name. It was really cute. I do those kind of things a lot. Once you choose a photo, now has anybody, while we're sitting here, added word swag? I'm wondering if it's going to try to start popping up upgrades, because if it is, I'm not even going to teach you how to use it. It's not worth. Anyone? Okay, it's okay if you didn't. It's fine. I wanted somebody to speak up if they've encountered that. The other one here, I'm gonna go ahead and walk you through the real simple steps, because a lot of these apps are similar in style. I'll just put it that way. So if I went into the library, no, that would choose my own photos. If I go into the free photos, I could choose a cute background, maybe one of these banana leaf backgrounds. Let's say I wanted to make a cute graphic for my Golden Girl guest house. I could choose a cute little graphic like that. It lets you add a frame if you want to. You can crop it. Also, the crops let you choose, like if you're wanting to make a Facebook group banner, or a cover photo for your own profile or whatever. It literally says Facebook group photo, and you could choose that. So it's going to make it dimensionally, everybody following me, it's going to make it the right size so it doesn't have to stretch it or squish it or chop it off, okay? So then I open it up and it automatically starts prompting me to put text on it. Double tap me to change the text. And that's a pretty cool looking text, especially on top of that particular graphic, because there's a lot of white and green on that graphic. So it wouldn't be easy to lay text on top of it in light or dark, because do you understand what I'm saying? Like if I chose all white font or light colored font, there's going to be places where you can't see it because the background is white. So the one that has an outline background like that is a good choice. So I would double tap that, hit the X out what they've already written and write whatever. Let's say Golden Girls guest house. I'm doing this in real time with you guys so you can see how simple it is, rather than the way Martha Stewart makes a souffle. She goes, and then you do bloop, bloop, and it bloop, and scoot it over, and here it is, bloop, right? Okay. Here we go. It says Golden Girls Guest House. Down below, I can choose different colors and all kinds of different fonts. The fonts can give me a background or not a background or an outline. I can choose to make the image brighter or the image more faded, or all kinds of different stuff that you can see when you go do that. And down at the bottom, there is even a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, roll the dice. So let's watch what it does. So I've got it set like that. If I hit 2, it's going to shift it around a little bit. If I hit 3, it's going to shift it around a little bit. It's showing me different ways it could do. Now, let me show you a different type of font that's kind of more Pinteresty, okay? Let me get a background that's a little more uniform, okay? Oh, y'all are gonna think I'm super cool when I do this one. Here you go. I changed the background to something more uniform and used, I don't know what that one's called. I used a different, it automatically changed it into where the top font and the bottom font are script and or whatever's the opposite of script. Yeah, y'all came here for all the right words, didn't you? Now once I get it looking like I want it, let's say I wanted it to look like this. This is not what I would want it to look like, but let's say that this is what I wanted it to look like. The Golden Girls Guest House. It did that all for me. It made it all cutesy and looking super fun. I know there's a glare. I apologize about that. I'm trying one more time. Okay, like that. Then I can save it, or I can hit the add text and I can add more. I can say open house at 7:30 on the 5th. Whatever, you know, those kinds of things. I can put information on there and it's making it look more and more fun and professional. Okay. With the two different kinds of font, is that what you're talking about? Oh, that's my favorite part. Is it only in WordSwag that it won't do it?
Yeah, and honestly, do it, but you just have to like do it 2 separate things. So like you do the first part and then you'd hit the plus button at the top and then add another, thing and then do it that way. So it is possible, but like that script, the one where it said Golden Girls in the 2 different fonts, that bottom font, not available for Android, and it ticks me the heck off. Like it is only on certain, like iPhones do it and it's not, but it's not enough for me to change to no iPhone.
Yeah, I got you. Okay, so she's saying Android's options are a little different. You can still get the same look. You just have to go through 2 steps instead of it doing it for you in 1 step. Okay, so then you're going to hit save and it's going to automatically save it to your camera roll. That at least gets you started and it gives you something to play around with. Now, the other one that I like is Canva. And I like it as in, hold one moment, please. I don't know why it's making me sign in. Does it make you sign in every time? Yeah.
No, it honestly stays signed in for me.
Okay, I don't know why that. It could be something. Let me see if I can sign in with something else.
I honestly think I only sign in with my Facebook account. I don't sign in like on my laptop. I sign in like the right way, or like with a login and whatnot. But I pay for the extra Canva version.
On Canva? Okay.
Yep.
So Canva, just briefly, is one that I've only recently started using. And the reason I did, I was so happy with WordSwag that I was like, I'm not branching out. I just like this one. Well, when my friend's phone was acting weird, we loaded Canva and I was like, you can add videos into a graphic? Like, who knew? Oh my gosh. Okay. Canva is pretty much as self-explanatory. It's literally point, click. If you want it brighter, you slide the bar over. If you want the letters bigger, you slide the bar over. You're not having to remember anything. It's all right there in front of you. If you want to use one of these apps, any of them that you've heard about, Canva, like Canvas, C-A-N-V-A. If you want to use one of these apps and you can't figure it out, there are tutorials that are 5 minutes long all over YouTube. They're not difficult, okay? or possibly like a 15-year-old neighbor. I'm just saying, like, there are ways to learn this stuff that you wouldn't have to pay anybody, you don't have to take a class. Another one that Aaron told me about the other day was called Layout. And Layout allows you to lay pictures and make collages or before and afters. It allows you to put two pictures together. So you could do, you could actually, if there was a font you really love somewhere. Oh, I'm sorry, I thought I said panda. Oh gosh. I'm glad we clarified that, right? It could have been. So after you've made a before and after, if there's a font you're in love with somewhere else, you could always make one in photo, or what was it called? Where did it go? Yeah, in Layout. You could make one in Layout, and then you could actually, once it's made, you could take it over into another graphic. Depends on how much time you want to spend on that. I will say that the majority of the really beautiful graphics that we use when we do online events are not made by me, but they are made probably in WordSwag. I recognize the font. So that real pretty where it's like some of it is in script and some of it is, and it looks very botanical and succulent-y, eucalyptus-y, and you know, whatever. All of that cute look, you can get that in a Canva graphic. One other thing that people have asked me before, and I'm doing this is what you call for dummies. I'm doing like the version that I understand really well. It's as difficult as I really care to go with this at, how old am I? About 46 years old. My daughter could probably teach you how to do all the things and all the things. For me, I'm happy with where I am, and I'm happy to teach the way I know it. What was I about to say now? Oh, I don't know that this is what I was about to say, but if somebody remembers what I was about to say. I found the most awesome video editing app. In fact, I'm going to show y'all a short video that we made. Hold on. Hold your horses, everyone. You're going to just be so shocked that I did this on my phone. I'm shocked, so you should be shocked as well. Let me find it. Has nothing to do with, here we go. I may have shown y'all this. I feel like I've shown this to someone. Okay. Here we go. Hang on. I feel like y'all are going somewhere, like you're going to leave me, right, if I don't get this up there fast enough. Here we go. Well, this is my friend. She is the physical therapist, and I'm not going to show you the whole video. It's 5 minutes long. We'll fast forward through it. She found out that the plant where she does the physical therapy work, they've been off work for a while because of the quarantine, and they decided that they were going to help get all the people who are maybe out of shape from being off from lifting really heavy stuff. If they've been off for a month, she was going to put together a little how to get back in shape with stuff you have at your house video. So look how cute this is. We did this all with my phone. Okay. It started. Quarantine conditioning.
Hey, Amber, work called. They said it's time to go back.
Okay, I'm going to fast forward through all these exercises. Nobody cares about that, right? I'm just kidding, just kidding. Here we go. Okay, she's switching up the different kinds of exercises. She's showing hold for 10 seconds. And then we get here, maybe. See, we added video, not just pictures. She's showing good posture. Okay. And then, okay, we put some of Trip and Jetty in here. Stay hydrated, people. Yeah, get it. Watch the form on this one. He gets it from me. Perfect form. I caught him. Oh, got him that too. I had to do it for him so he would know how. Okay, so you get the idea. I'll have no idea how impressed I was with myself. Like, I gave myself a gold star, and then I took a bow, because we learned that in one app, and we did it in one day. We did the whole thing, like, took all the pictures, did all the video, and I learned how to use the app, which turned out to be literally, for a video editing app, I've never seen anything like it. It'll literally let you shoot 15 minutes of footage, and if you want to narrow it down to just 2 minutes, you just want to section it down to 2 minutes, you just slide the bar down. There's that 2 minutes, and then you want to add you layer the music on top of it by literally pushing a button, and you can change songs by pushing a button. Add the font. You can add the font in that app, or you can make your own graphics in a different one if you want to. The music was part of it's all part of it, and it's called InShot. So if you ever want to get super creative and fun, I would suggest starting out with a fun project before you take on something serious, like trying to make sure your daughter makes it on American Idol or something like that. I would start with something really simple first and play with it. We had a blast that day, and I plan on using that a lot. If you are into blogging and stuff and you want to have some of your own content, you can, these kind of videos, you could embed them in your blogs. Okay, let me see. Yes, it was a very, okay, the thing about that video, we had a goal, which was rather than, oh, expletive, we got to go back to work. We wanted it to be like, you got this, you can do it at home. We hoped that it conveyed that idea. And so I think, you know, I used to get really caught up in graphics because I was a photographer. And that was pretty much my wheelhouse at that time. Was I knew how to make graphics. I was really good at it. If it's something that you get into and you go, I'm mediocre at this, it's okay, because it really comes down to your message is more important than the beauty of your message. If you get into it and you're like, I wish I had someone to help me learn this, I'm serious, seriously, get some help from a kid. Kids can do the apps better than most grown-ups. I'm just saying, kids are really, really, does the voice include audio? On the InShot. Yeah, it lets you, you can you can do it where you're talking on top of it, like as you're filming it, like an actual video. And you can leave the audio in it, or you can play music on top of it instead. It's the craziest, the most amazing. Yeah, it was perfect for what we were trying to do. So InShot, that's free. All the ones I've told you about are free. If WordSwag starts trying to get you to upgrade, I would stick with maybe Canva or something until you get comfortable enough and know that you're going to use it. And then upgrading apps is not a big deal. It's not a huge business expense. I have a little confession. Let me back up a little bit. So somebody asked about the Dough app. So I worked my butt off. I'm just going to put it out there like it is. I worked my butt off with the guy to make the Dough app. Once the company found out that there was a way that the Dough app could tap into our back office, because they was able to pull your team members up and all this stuff if you gave them permission to, they started saying, oh, I don't know if that's a good idea, which I agreed with. And then I backed off because the company is supposedly working on an app similar to Dough. I would say that there's probably 10 to 12 things in front of that in relevance and importance, apparently, because so far I backed off of the Dough app because I was like, okay, they're kind of frowning on the Dough app. Now I kind of wish I hadn't backed off and I had kept teaching everybody how to use it. For those of you who don't know what that is, it's just basically a follow-up system that keeps track of your people, notes that you write to yourself about your people. It's not anything different than what you could do with your own phone without the app. You could keep prospects in your phone. You can set reminders in your phone to follow up and all this stuff. But that app was probably one of the most brilliant things I've ever taken part in as far as developing stuff for this business the way we work it. And I'm probably, just because I'm talking about it right now and I'm feeling a little bit of redheaded energy rising up in me about it, I'll probably crawl straight up somebody's butt again until we get what we need on that. So does that answer any of your questions that have wondered about the Dough app? I saw somebody ask it. It may have been Diane the other day. And that's when I went and started asking some questions. Yeah, there's nothing wrong with using the Dough app. If you have it and you use it and you love it, absolutely. Because I still think it was amazing. I quit giving a lot of that. They developed that app primarily on my feedback about what I thought a person who worked this business in the nooks and crannies needed in an app. And I quit giving them my feedback when I realized the company might rather have my feedback, our company. And I thought it might end up being free for us, or as part of your membership fee or something like that. So I was like, maybe they want, and I don't know what happened. Probably, if I had to guess, because it was IT work, there was probably other IT stuff that needed to happen that was more important than that right at that moment. So
I have a question.
Sure.
Is that okay? Sorry, I'm interrupting. I've been on the website. The website is pretty good. Hold on, guys. The website is pretty good. Do they have a search function on the app? Like, it's kind of tough to find things, what I'm looking for, just by scrolling. Do they have anything that you can search up and look for, say, like Vital Biome and the add-ons?
To add on to a welcome pack? Is that what you're talking about? Or add on?
No, necessarily just looking for things like, well, I've decided to try the X Factor Kids or the X Factor. Is there an easier way to find it instead of just scrolling through everything?
Anybody want to chime in and help here? This is not my area. Hang on.
Erin? You can on the left it'll say like nutrition, skincare, all of those things. Let me see if I can pull it up right quick. And you can click on, like, if you know what you're looking for, you're looking for X Factor, then you would, I'm sorry, my phone loads really slow, but you would, there's a list over there on the left that it says weight management. Can you see this? Over here, it's going to say these things. It's this list right here. It says shop, and then underneath it, it's got all these different categories. So there's like weight management, nutrition, Joyome, personal care, marketing materials, combos, trial packs, samples. You click on that, and it will zoom you straight down to what category that is.
Erin,
Thank
were you
you.
going to say
I was
anything
gonna-
different?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I was actually going to say what, I don't know who S10 is, but they nailed it, the help desk. Like, you could search anything in there. There's a tab that says help desk. And then even on top of that, during the day, like if you're having trouble finding, the help desk is always the first place. Like when I've got somebody asking me something, I'm like, oh, do you know about our help desk? And like some of my people that are a little bit like they've been around for a while, they're like, you're being that condescending, Erin, right now, aren't you? Because they know, like, if you're asking me, like, I could find it just the same amount of time as you can. And I'm not saying that to you, April. I'm just saying, like, what I say to my people is I'm like, go to the help desk. So if I'm really ever, Lori, if I ever ask you a question, well, I'm going to ask Jetty about the back office. I'm not going to ask you.
Yeah.
But he would say that the help desk too, because, or the live chat option, but mainly the help desk is going to be really super, like the quickest way, I think. But Becky's right. Like it does shoot you to where you need to go once you go under those things. It's just more specific questions. Like if you say ingredients of X Factor and then put that in, smooth right there. It should.
Yeah.
Don't catch me lying, as they say in Oklahoma. Don't catch me lying.
Don't catch me lying. I will say that Jetty and I split this business down the middle, and a lot of the back office stuff falls on his plate. So when I'm, I do a lot of the other stuff. And so lots of times I'll have to ask him, okay, what's the easiest way to do this and whatever. And so that's basically why I'm sitting here going, anybody else want to chime in? I feel like there was, yes. Okay. There is a list that I wanted to post. I got this off of Erin's page. I don't know if she got it from something or she created it, but I what you call face jacked it. And it was a list of 21 days. Erin, did you create this? It was good.
No, ma'am, I jacked it.
You jacked it too? Okay.
We
So
do.
I'm going to
like,
post.
Resourceful women. We like they share it for the world, so we take advantage of it. We are just smart.
Absolutely. So I'm going to post it in my team page and in my alumni group. I got to find the graphic that went with it. Here it is. 21 days of posting ideas. Now these are exactly that. They are ideas. If you already flow with ideas, don't let something make you stagnant, where you go, oh, I guess I need to do this one now. Not necessarily. But if you're one of those that you're doing it in the nooks and crannies and your brain's going, oh, what should I talk about today? This gives you, it's posted now. This would give you 21 days worth, and you could go in any order you want. You could bounce all over the place. You could leave something out. It's just, for example.
Hey, Lori.
Yep.
I have something really quick I wanted to share. I got to hop off here, but there is, I'll tag you in it in the template page that I have you in with just those people. It's actually a gold mine, very similar to what you're sharing right now. Bethany Wilkinson, a dear friend from North Carolina, put it in the Jules page. And what it is 5 fun facts about each product. And what I've done is literally each Wednesday, I call it Wellness Wednesday, I take a fun picture out in the hanger of the product, because it works so much better, guys, if you use the product in your own environment, because then it's like, oh, these are a part of my life. They're not just something that I'm sharing about. But so, and it gives you 5 fun facts, and I make stories out of them and I put them on my stories. But I put them in my sister's customer page on Wednesdays as a post, and I also use my own picture, and I go like that every single week. It's just a different outfit and maybe a hat or maybe clean hair if they're lucky, but usually it's like always like 5 10 facts and a big goofy smile, and I get tons more interaction on those posts because they're very concise, very short, and I will tag you in that, and you can put that in the butterfly page just for people to use to educate their audience. Like it, and it'll educate you. Like I learned a couple things from it too, but it's super
Perfect.
cool. So
Yes, when she does, I will share it underneath. Maybe I may make a separate post of it, depending on how it would work best as a post. Probably best separate.
I think so, just because it's like two different things, and like I'll even like you can even say you can use this in your stories or in a customer support page. I think it could be beneficial on your page, but I really think that you have to use like your own picture, like saying 5 fun facts about one of my favorite products that I use daily, but using your own picture is so important, and not just using a graphic. Like, because again, like Lori was saying about the algorithms, it picks up whether it's like a Canva, because graphics are fun all day long. I use it as like a scrapbooking thing, like it's my jam. I love them, but Facebook picks up your picture, like your own face, because it's community. It wants to see you. So
Yeah.
that's my 2 cents.
Yeah, if you share a graphic that everyone has been sharing, it shows it to less people. You may have just said that, but I may have missed exactly that point. But to answer April's question here, one of the posting ideas is to literally put a couple of the capsules in your hand and take a picture of that. I know I saw that one. Pick of a healthy meal that you're eating. Pick of you sleeping. pick of your kiddo or your hubby sleeping, or your slippers, your robe, your pillow. Mention how much you've been sleeping better. These are just great posting ideas, and they could be completely different for every person because of the added aspect of what Erin's talking about. I have gotten to the point, since I got this phone that I love that takes great pictures. I take pictures everywhere I am now, and I just have them in my camera roll so that when I do have time to sit down and make a post, I have lots and lots of things to choose from. And a lot of times those things will spark an idea of something to talk about on Facebook. If you are one of those people who has been just like kind of a Facebook creeper, where you just look at other people's stuff, you don't have much to say, and all you do is share a recipe every now and then that was from another healthy mama or something like that, and you don't share your own content very often, the first thing that you're going to be charged with is waking your Facebook up and telling it you're here. I'm here. The algorithm needs to know that you're awake and you're ready to play. You're ready to interact. And so consistency is a huge aspect of it. Posting consistently. I got out of the habit during, like last winter. I wasn't posting much on Facebook. And when I came back into the game and started posting more often, it took me a few days for Facebook to trust me and believe me. You know what I'm saying? It's like, okay, she's back for real. She's not going anywhere. So then it starts getting more interaction. The kind of posts that are about plexus versus posts that are not about plexus, it's very important to keep that balanced. Otherwise, people don't want to listen to anything you have to say anymore. If you just sell something all day long, they're like, people start, even if they don't delete you, they just thumb scroll right past you. They don't care. People want to know that you care about them, and that you care about your own kids, and that you care about your family, and that they want you to share your life. And that's the way to keep things interactive, so that it's a give and take. And I do think that that's why family pictures work so well with posts. That's why posts from inside your own house. I'm going to tell you right now, I know for a fact, because I've done it, I could walk into a house that would be embarrassing to almost anybody, like an absolute disaster trash of a house, and I could still find something pretty to take a picture of. It's because you just got to have the want to. Find some window light, set something in front of window light. Now, you don't want to take the picture against window light. Like if you set a pill bottle in front of a window and you try to take a picture of it, it's not going to want to focus, and it's going to make it silhouetted where you see the light and you don't see the product. So you want to like pull a table away from a window a little bit, turn the product around and let the sunshine hit it. Take the picture from this angle. That's to me, window light's the most beautiful light there is. It's the most flattering light because it doesn't make shadows all over your face, or, it just gives a beautiful glow. So if you want to take your own picture, a couple of selfie tips are window light or shade, like light outside that's in shade, so you have a constant light rather than really harsh shadows. And that way you're not squinting and all that kind of stuff too. But standing in front of a window with your phone at a slight angle this way, so it's tilting down at you just a little, rather than like this, because then you're all chins, right? That's not a good look. This is how I do it. I do my live videos like this, and I take selfies like this. Holding your pink drink. You see, perfect setup for a selfie. If the background is real busy behind you, like mine is in this room, you should probably pick a different window. The less busy that the background is for a selfie, the better. Honestly, if you have a phone that, if you have this is an 11, I think. If you have one that has the cameras on it that put the soft background for you, basically you can put it in portrait mode and you can take a picture and it's going to put I'm going to show you some examples. Okay, in that video that I showed you with my friend, and it had the petunias at the beginning, and the petunias are in really, really sharp focus, but the swimming pool behind it is all in blur. That is it's called depth of field if you're in photography. So it's basically the same thing that your eyes do when you focus on someone, but behind them is a blur. Depth of field. The field behind them is deeper, further away. Your eyes don't focus on it as much. So it gives a very three-dimensional, real look to things. If you have a phone that will capture that, then when you go to post on Facebook, if you have a picture that has that softened background, Facebook will offer you the option to make the photo three-dimensional. And I will show you how to do that really quick. So I'm going to scroll down to find one. Maybe this one will do it. Let's see. Yeah. Okay. So I've put this picture there. Okay. See the soft background and the real sharp focus on the drink and the flowers? Can you see right there where it says Make 3D? Okay. I'm going to click Make 3D and it's processing it. Oop. Okay. Now I'm going to get this on here so you can see it. Now I want you to watch the background move around. It's hard to see. Can you see that background? See, when you're looking at Facebook and you're going like this and the picture moves, you're going, whoa, it's like the person's going like this. Like that. That's because they've made the photo 3D. To me, those are very catchy. I always want to look at those photos. I always want to be like, oh, so pretty. In fact, I like those. I like those so much that I would prefer those over a really pretty graphic. You could lay something on top of a really pretty photo like that, lay some text on. Now, let's see. I'm reading, hang on. That's a great idea. So Becky said a good tip she heard and hasn't put into use yet is to take a lot of different selfies with different products. Change clothes, take some more pictures, repeat, then you have a lot of pictures available that you don't show you in all the same clothes. I would say, since I'm a hair and makeup a couple times a week kind of girl, that I do this all the time. If I'm going out on a date, even if I have it has nothing to do with Plexus, I take pictures of myself and save them. I backlog them because sometimes I want to say something on Facebook and I want to put a picture of myself and I don't want to have to go do all the things. I would say too that you could probably easily just change, especially if it's selfies, you could just change shirts, maybe shirt and earrings. You could even like throw a little, one of those little, why can't I not think of what those are called? Those little kimono cover-ups over the same shirt, get a totally different look. You can pull the hair behind. You can pull the hair forward. See how different I look? Everybody watch. Everybody watch. It's a neat little trick. Pull the hair in a pony. Pull the hair all around. Date night sexy. All the things, yeah. One cool kitten, right? Yeah. Do you see how fast I did that? Y'all see how fast? I could have taken all of those selfies in a matter of like a minute and a half. Add a little more eyeliner on the wing. Get a whole different look. Depends on how much fun you want to have. Depends on how much time, how much teenage time you have on your hands. That's what I'm going to say. Yeah. And so if you have a pretty little mason jar and a straw and you want to cut up a pretty lemon wedge and put it on and do some little, I'm just drinking my pink drink. I live with a mason jar in my hands. But those are fun pictures, aren't they? We know that this is true. If you go somewhere fun and there's lots of fun background, it would be fun if you had, okay, there's something about, this is a me thing. This is a me thing. There is this photography term that's spelled like B-O-K-E-H. I used to call it bokeh. It's probably called bokeh or something like that. In fact, I should probably, I'm going to pull up a picture so you can see what I'm talking about. Okay, this look, those are lights in the street, okay? All kinds, they make different looks. If you are somewhere and it's dark outside and somebody has lights strung in the background, okay, this is a great example here. Lights do this. Lights blur if they're in the distance. So if you take a picture, I used to do this all the time, take someone and stand them in front of a store window at dark so that they've got light on their face. If there's a restaurant or something in the background that has all the blurry, soft, strung patio lights, those were some of the prettiest pictures I ever took because you can get the person in strong focus and you can get all that pretty background. This is not a photography class, I realize, but if I was going to teach something these days that wasn't Plexus, I would be teaching photography. Lights do that when they are in the background. You don't have to do anything super special. If you focus on the person and you have a quality, like higher end, newer phone, you focus on the person, the background's going to automatically do the, here, I said I was going to look up how you say it. Bokeh. Yeah. Or some people call it bokeh. So either way. Okay. I want to show you, watch this. This picture of me that you're about to see, let me see if I can do this. See that picture? Is it showing? Is it showing me? Okay. I took that picture in a motel. Window light. I literally cracked the blinds and let window light hit me really strong on the face. If it was not as close up as it is, if it wasn't cropped as deep, you would be able to see that the background is mostly black because it's dark in the room. So it's dark in the room, bright on my face. It's one of my favorite pictures I have of myself. Hang on. I can't make myself for some reason. Where did I go? Okay. So I literally stood in a hotel room with the window cracked and like sunlight bleaching my face basically. And the whole background, it wasn't hitting everywhere in the room. So the background kind of looks like what I have going on tonight. You see that look? The spotlight is right on me, just like if I was in a window. There, that gives it to you better. See what I'm saying? That creates depth in a photo too, because you can tell the background is far away from me and I'm in the foreground. Okay. Now compare what I'm showing you. It's just a look. I'm just giving you ideas because it's not a better look than anything else. Take a look over at Rachel Anderson. Okay. Hey, Rachel. So she has constant light in her room, so you can see all her pretty background. You see what I'm saying? She's got like a cute sign, and she's got pretty colored walls. It's just, I'm just showing you there are different ways to get different looks so that you have fun. I'm trying to spice up y'all's lives. You get it? You get it. Also, you can get different looks with lamplight. You can do stuff in lamplight and it gives more of a nighttime look. If you're sitting next to a lamp and you take a selfie of a book that you're reading or whatever, the closer you are and the further away gives interest too. So, all right, I'm going to pause here for just a second and see if anybody has any questions for anything we've talked about so far. I may be leaving a glaring, obvious thing out that I'm not thinking of.
I do have a question.
Okay.
Going back, sorry. Okay, so you said to keep a balance. I'm very iffy about just posting Plexus because people will Google it and they'll go and somehow find out the price and they'll be like, nope, not for me. So I don't want that to really happen.
Okay.
Now, I know Plexus is great and it pretty much sells itself because of what it does. But would it be acceptable to say have a pretty setup and have the packets of Slim setting next to your pink drink, or with you having a handful of your pills with the bottle, would that be acceptable or no?
Well, I will tell you, I told my husband the other day, I was telling him how much you remind me of me. Okay. And interestingly enough, I didn't tell anybody the name of what I was doing for a long time. So if mystery is in your favor, and I would say that it is, so that you can answer people one-on-one so that you can avoid the whole how much does it cost without, because what it is if people think it's just doing one thing and it's going to cost $100 or something like that, it's easy for them to check it out of their mind and go, I don't even want to, no. So to get that conversation rolling, in a jar, the pretty pink drink in a jar creates curiosity because you are brand new and you have the advantage of mystery of what you're doing. And that way they're sort of forced to ask you what you're doing. And if they ask you in the comments, you can say, I'll message you, rather than telling everyone in the comments.
Okay.
You see what I'm saying? You can do it however you want, but the whole aspect, how we were talking last week about the question, how much does it cost? And there's not really a way to answer that without figuring out what somebody would be asking you for. Like, did they see your most recent post? And in your example, it's probably that they're going to have seen your most recent post and they're asking you, or one of the last couple days or something like that. And so that they're asking you, and so you are going to ask them questions to get them talking to you and let them let their guard down so they can get around to their point. And so I'm just saying, I think that the way your brain is thinking about that, you'll notice on my wall, and this is debatable, this is personal, everybody's different. But my own personal wall, my bio says wife, mom with solid instincts, healer, immune system educator, seeker of all things true. It doesn't say plexus because I personally don't want Facebook deciding that they don't want to show my stuff to anybody because of, you see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's really it's personal. Everybody decides to do it a different way. I see people do full blown, like their profile picture, they're wearing the t-shirt, holding the drink. You know what I'm saying? There's nothing wrong with that. Everybody has to choose which route they want to go because that way it looks very professional. I chose to be a little bit more quirky, casual. You don't know what I might be doing. And you know what I mean? And that way I've found that also it seems like it seems like the algorithm stays in my favor because I hardly ever use the name Plexus in a post either. Now in the team page I do, but I'm talking about on my personal profile, I'll say the industry I'm in, if I'm talking about network marketing, or if I'm talking about a change of lifestyle because of the industry that I'm in. Or if I say, ever since I started using these products, I say those kind of things all the time. And since your personality tends to lean like what we're talking about, you could go back and look. You may have to look and look because I post a lot these days. But you can go back and read some of my posts where I might be kind of wordy. I might tell a whole bunch of a story. And it's rare that I use the word plexus, but that's just my own personal choice. Everybody can choose to do their own thing. Also, it's rare that I post a picture of the products. Not for any, unless I'm doing, like you're talking about, a jar, something like that. And that's just a personal choice. I decided a couple of years ago to take the stuff that had all of the names and all that stuff and stick it into the Beauty Inside and Out group and use that as my drip group. And I talk about the changes in my life on my wall. I tell my testimony on my wall. I for a long time caused a lot of commotion on Facebook by simply being home in the middle of the day doing whatever in the flip I want to do. People would be like, do you not do photography anymore? Oh, girl, yes, I absolutely do. I just don't do that for a living anymore. I get to take all the pictures I want, but I don't have to do that for a living anymore. What? Okay, so there we go. New conversation. To me, this business is all about conversations. So whatever I can do to spark interest, whatever I can do that basically creates curiosity. Okay, I'm just reading what she just said. Yes, isn't that, was it InShot is what you're talking about, Rachel? Crazy, right? I promise you, I'm not going to send you down a road. She said she just made a video of her granddaughter's first year while she was listening using that InShot app. And I can tell you, I would not send you down a road that was anything except for point and click. Any of you, I promise. Like, I didn't have to look up any music. I didn't have to figure out how to layer things. I watched that video back when I was showing it to you guys, and I saw a couple of little things to where it was like the transition from one could have been cleaner, you know, like it would fade from one, and then it was like the text would show up a little bit quicker or a little bit later or whatever. I could have made that even perfect if I wanted to spend extra time, but I was picking it apart because I was showing it to y'all. But I'm saying it is one of the most fascinating apps I've ever used in my life. How simple it was. There's probably a paid for version that would take their, you know, it has a blurry sides. Did you see that? Like, I'm sure, and there's probably an upgrade of fonts. You have probably access to more music choices, all this stuff, if you decide to use the paid for version. But I did it all on the free version, just because I wanted to see what the free version would do. Let's see. Anything else?
I do have another question.
Okay.
Whenever I first started, I was pretty open about the name. Yes, back to the name. Would it be wise in case somebody ever visited my profile because I'm like, I'm gonna take the plexus plunge. That's just what I said.
It's okay.
But
I wouldn't overthink it. I wouldn't worry about it. If you post the name Plexus and choose to go down that route, I don't think it hurts anything.
I don't want to
You
because
don't want. Okay. I understand you
no.
don't want to. The thing that you said that resonated the strongest with me is people Googling it, and even Googling it and finding somebody's fake website review because they promote another line of supplements. There are websites out there, blogs that people who own their own protein powder have a supposed review of our stuff, and the only reason they even reviewed our stuff is so that it would bump them higher up in the search engine optimization because they have a no-name brand and they want their stuff to pop up when you Google Plexus. So it's
Yeah.
cheating. You see what I'm saying? Like they'll say, "Oh, we tried it and we found out this. Actually, it's this," and you don't, you're like, "Oh my God!" It's one of those pop-ups that has all these like ads. You don't want people Googling it and doing that, but the mystery will only be in your favor for a short time anyway, because eventually everybody you know is going to know what you do. But you can actually seize the day during this time when people don't know what you're doing, and you're just, her testimony is already like blowing my socks off. She's already like experiencing all kinds of great things, and she's sharing about them on her wall, and she's getting interest amongst her community and her circle of influence. And I think it's a really smart time for you to be doing the smart things. I think taking beautiful, fun pictures, and because your story reminds me of my own story, just the taking of beautiful pictures and posting of beautiful pictures is a difference that people are going to be like, what's she doing? Like just the happier, the brighter mood, I don't know. I have not looked at your old Facebook post. I'm not comparing, but for me, the fact that I was just like doing the fun things and talking about it, people were like, something's different. What's different? And they could tell it was real because it faded into every aspect of my life. It faded into when we were out at dinner. It faded into when we were, like in the car, when we were all out there as a family. And once I started making really good money at this, and we were home during the day when everybody's at work, and I'm posting fun things. That wasn't originally why I started doing it, but I started noticing that people were like, does Jetty not work anymore? People were like, it's Wednesday. Why are you at home? That kind of, I ran with that for a while too, because it was something that was appealing to other people. They wanted to understand how in the world I had so much time freedom in my life, basically. So I'm just sharing experiences. I believe that one of the things that kept me from training on topics like this for a long time is because you see so many people do so many different things that for me to train a certain way might be like stepping on somebody's toes because they do it a different way. All I'm doing tonight is just sharing things that have worked for me. It doesn't mean it's the right way, the wrong way. I'm liable to have people who think that they've basically found a different way that's better, and that's whatever works is what I say. Whatever works for you. Actually, I think whatever is authentic to you, ultimately people identify with what is authentic to you. They can tell when you're faking it. They can tell when, if a messy bun and, like yoga pants is authentic to you, there's nothing wrong with taking pictures that look like that. I have lots of pictures that look like that, and I use them. I also like to have the other pictures that look like, I might be going somewhere fun. So I'm just, yep.
Like also, Lori, You know, I've decided to really take the plexus plunge. That's not even a thing, but I'm making it a thing. Uh, there's not really, you know, a lot of people don't know this online, but we have come from a life of poverty. We have lived in poverty for like years now. We've dealt with homelessness. It's time. God is showing me some things about not. We don't have to live in poverty, and He's put a new desire in my heart. Um, Basically, I've decided to go all in. I've never done anything like this, but this sounds crazy and harsh, but there's no room for failure. Like, this has to work. So I'm willing to listen to anything. It's working for you, it's working for others, it's going to work for me. So I'm going to listen and do, it's going to be authentic and it's going to be real, but I just need a little help right now. Um, on what to say, you know.
Hmm.
But these are great. Thank you.
I would say that my job these days is helping you. So don't hesitate to reach out to me, to reach out to Missy in whatever ways that we can help. Yeah. Rachel just said being coachable will take you all the way to the top, girl. I will say too that there's a phrase that talks about if you want to take the island, burn the ship. You know, like there's no other way. Like, I have to own this island. It has to be mine because there's not an escape route. And so it's all in your mindset. I got chills when I said that. It's all in the mindset of, I'm here, I'm not going anywhere. And when I made the mistake in the beginning of subscribing to some regret, kind of like what you were doing a second ago, where you go, oh, I already said this. Should I go back? And for my Plexus business, everything's forward. Now, learn from, like, if there's something you go, I should have, then just learn from it, but plunge on forward rather than, because anytime you're focusing on, you know, where you go, I kind of regret doing it that way. Well, there's going to be things all through this and all through anything you do in your life where you go, I probably could have done that a little better, might have should have done this instead. But it's all about your mindset, and you have the right mindset. I believe you're going to rank advance quickly in this business. I really do. And I'm excited to see what it does for you. And the beauty of it is, I'm going to try not to cry when I say this, but if you break your family out of poverty using this business, then you're going to have a lot of friends broken out of poverty too, because that's the only way that you can make this business work, is by helping others improve their life too. It's the beauty of it. And it's also the reason that when family or friends don't support you in the beginning, jump on over it. If anybody is hesitant or reluctant or skeptical about what you're doing, circle back around when you're successful and feeling great and have recruited their sister. Do you see what I'm saying? Like, I had this thing in my head that it was like, let's say my neighbor, who I just knew was going to get on this boat with me, didn't. Well, when they didn't, if they made me have this feeling of sickness in my heart, like I should have I could see this for them so much, rather than taking that path, I blazed right on through it, knowing, because I knew what the products did. It was so easy to see that when I'm successful and I circle back around, it might be their time then. By the time I've recruited their sister, their neighbor, their cousin, their boss, and then they might decide to get on. But that wasn't going to stop me. And that is a mindset too. Like, if somebody tries to be skeptical, or if somebody tries to say something to you that tries to steal away from your joy of what's going on, you don't have to be hateful. You don't have to be, I'm not saying you would be, but I'm saying I'm not encouraging anything except for absolute love for those people. But letting them try to stop you or tear you down in any way, just be like, it's okay. I'll circle back around. You don't have to say that, but have that in your mind. I'll circle back around. You'll be like, you know, you're making $8,000 a month, and they're all like, I tried to destroy you in the beginning. It didn't work. And you're like, well, do you want on now? It's still not too late. You know, I told on that team call that I did today that the lady who sponsored me in 2011 thought that Plexus as a business was at the end. She's like, well, the business portion of it is kind of like, it's saturated. Everybody's doing it. And I was like, I've never heard of it before, lady. Like, what do you mean? Like, there is no such thing. There are states all over the United States that hardly have anything Plexus going on. And then there's a whole country of Mexico that is just waiting for us. If you have people who have contacts in Mexico, that is wide open. We just opened Mexico in March of this year. So there will be top income earners in Mexico in this company, and may they be on my team. May they be on your team. Do you understand what I'm saying? May you be one of the ones who sponsors someone who takes off and spreads this all throughout the country of Mexico. I'm speaking that on you. Do it, girl. I'm going to pray over us. I think this will be a very good Zoom call to be for future reference when you want somebody to understand how to use social media better. So I'm trying to keep it within the time span. I'm trying to find my music. Here we go. So I just collectively, Father God, collectively, I just want to come out of any agreements that have held me back in my business. I usually tend to pray in first person. If you want to agree with me about this, about yourself, get after it. Hang on. I want my music playing. I'm going to try a different song maybe. Yeah. Okay. I want to separate myself from any agreements of a mindset that no longer fits me. So, God, if there's anything in my mind, my heart, my spirit, my soul, I should say, it's really my soul, that doesn't line with your plan for my life, God, I ask that you begin to clean that out. Clean that closet out. God, if there's anything in me that's holding me back, ultimately, I take responsibility for anything that's in me that's held me back, and I say, I lay that at your feet. God, I want to have absolutely no agreements with a poverty, spirit of poverty. I have no agreements with a spirit of lack. God, that you would come in and clear out any confusion. And I line myself up with the spirit of abundance and fruitfulness. And I see like a tree with really deep roots. God, that I am rooted and grounded in my identity in Christ. And if you need to prune some of these branches that I created that were not of you, Lord, I try not to wiggle while you do it. God, I set my heart and my focus, my mind's eye, straight on you and the freedom that you are bringing to me individually, and the ways that you're going to use me to expand your kingdom, to help my friends and family flourish. It's going to be like fresh air. It is fresh air of the Spirit blowing all over my business, blowing all over my creative thought processes, blowing over my ability to connect on a real, authentic level with people and add value into their lives. God, you know deep down that that is my true desire. I'm not interested in selling something. I mean, I don't want to sell candles. I'm just going to put it out there and say, it's not about selling something. I'm interested in lives changed forever. I'm interested in husbands get their wives back. I'm interested in children have their moms back. I'm interested in life abundant, thriving. And God, I thank you for this era that we have shifted into. And with it comes clarity and sharp focus. Purpose. God, I just speak right now over anybody who's listening, whether it's recorded or on here with us live. God, that you would begin softening the hearts of those that you intend for us to reach out to, and softening the hearts of those who are part of our inner circle, like our shareholders, like our husbands, our wives, the ones that we spend our days with, so that they will understand when we have this laser sharp focus, they will know, okay, I'm a shareholder in what she's doing, and they will understand it. They will understand that sometimes Mama spends 15 minutes, extra in the evening or extra in the morning by herself, focusing and working on a brighter future. God, help me to explain that to those in my life in a way that helps it resonate with them, so that they understand ultimately it's for you all as a family. God, help me to run in the Spirit, to run with what your plans and purposes are. I don't believe that people that are on this call are called to do Plexus specifically, but I do believe you're called into freedom. Freedom from disease and freedom from financial burden. And may Plexus be the tool that you use, that God uses to mold and shape you with personal development. I pray that before you pick your phone up, talking to every single one of you, before you pick your phone up, you say, God, what do you want me to say? What do you want me to look at? What do you want me to read? What do you want me to listen to? God, that I would not be walking robotic through my life. God, give me a new spark. A fresh breath of air. That I say, before I even pick my phone up this morning, God, that my heart be turned fully straight on you, that my focus would be laser sharp on you, Lord. Show me what you want me to see. Show me songs you want me to listen to. Give me creative ideas, Lord, to help me connect. Lord, show me new ways to bless. And God, help me uncover goals for myself that I didn't even know that I was capable of dreaming, that keep my fire lit. Help me keep my focus. God, show me ways that I can be a giver, that I can pour into other people with this time freedom, with money freedom, financial burdens gone. God, right now, we just cut off any soul ties that we have made with any aspect of darkness. May my soul be totally free from any soul ties that are unhealthy or unholy. Now I want you all to focus on something that would be like, just get an image in your mind that would be one single goal. Doesn't have to be the whole big picture. It could even be a short-term goal, but I want you to bring one thing into focus in your brain. Put it right between your eyes, in your head. Do you need a backup camera on your golf cart? Okay, I'm just joking. Okay, get strong focus. I told my husband the other day that that's what I needed. He's laughing at me. So if that were my goal, now pull up something that just makes your heart just, ooh, get that image so strong. And we're going to ask, and I trust God to do this. Like, I don't have to do this on pen and paper with each one of you. I completely trust God that he will show you, he will map out for you how to make that first goal happen for you. If your goal has to do with a rank advancement, make it more distinct. Like, what is that rank advancement going to buy you? And I don't mean necessarily even money. Like, is it going to buy you more time with your kids? Get something real clear. I used to want that swimming pool that I have now. I wanted it so bad I could see it. Every time I would see it, I could see my kids playing in it, and I could see my kids spending time at my house. I wanted it so bad. And when things would be tough or feel like they were gritty, I would be like, come back to center. What do I focus on? It's okay. It's okay if my cousin said something skeptical to me, because I'll circle back around. But for now, I am focused. I'm linking arms with heaven, all of heaven's army, to accomplish those things that make my heart light up. And that I would be in a position to be extraordinarily generous with other people. I could fulfill needs when there are needs that need to be met. May it be me. May I be in the position to be able to pour into other people's lives when there is a need. I'm so grateful for this company and what it has given to my family. And whether you're brand new or you feel like you're starting from scratch, I pray that you can feel that same sense of gratitude that I have, because there is something about feeling it. It's like it sparks a fire, lights something within you. It takes you from that place of complacency, stagnant. It puts you in alignment with what it takes to be on the road, to be an extraordinary giver, to be someone that you've, like, for example, if you have never been in the position to be a person that you yourself would admire, I don't know if that makes sense to you, but that was one of my own goals. It sounds a little weird, but I wanted to be a person that I myself would admire. And I don't mean like admire as in like fangirl. I'm talking about I wanted to be the kind of person that had character and integrity and the money to back it up. The money to back up my heart to be a giver. Put your money where your mouth is, right? Like put your money where your heart is. And may it be there when it's needed. I lift this all up in Jesus' name. Amen. Ugh. Okay, thanks for hopping on here tonight, you guys. I will be, this is one last thing, I will be announcing our next event in the next couple or 3 days. I just haven't completely got it all. I was going to announce it tonight, but I don't have it all straightened out in my head yet about what topic I want to do and what date I want to do it on. So please be watching the team page for it. I'm going to take a picture of everybody that was on here tonight. I'm not taking the picture for any purpose except for just names, so that when I announce it, I can tag those of you in it who would like to, you know, be, if you're on these calls, you're probably interested in the events that we do, so that you can invite your prospects to the events, the online events. I think I'm going to leave it at that. Once I have that all straightened out, I'll post it in my, either the butterfly group or the alumni group. Is this a peace out? Thanks, guys. I'll talk to you soon. Good night. Yay, I'm glad you liked them. I'm glad you liked the tips. I didn't know if they would feel helpful or not. Okay, good, good. All right.